The defense doesn't have to present any evidence, correct?
Correct. The defense does not need to present any evidence.
Right out of the gate, this case boils down to one deceptively simple question. Was this a crime or just cautious driving? Texas law doesn't punish hesitation, but it does punish intent. And today, the judge isn't just weighing speed or distance, she's judging what was going on inside the driver's head.
Today's case out of Texas is all about whether a driver, Jordan Davis, was really trying to run from police or just trying to find a safe place to pull over. The state says he was evading arrest. The defense says he was being cautious and following the driver's handbook. The judge will have to decide, was this evading or just common sense driving?
Court is calling 2024 CR 5244, State of Texas versus Jordan Davis. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? For the defense?
Good morning, Judge Alfonso Caban.
This right here is a critical moment. By waiving a jury trial, Jordan Davis is putting his fate entirely in the judge's hands. No jury emotions, no persuasion tactics, just cold facts, video evidence, and legal definitions. Bench trials can move faster, but they leave zero room for theatrics.
Yes, for Mr. Davis.
And are you Mr. Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Davis, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jordan Davis.
All right, Mr. Davis, you do realize that you have a right to a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's that the court has received a waiver of trial by jury and you're asking to proceed with a bench trial. Is that correct? And you understand that means that I will hear whatever evidence is presented and make a decision on whether you're guilty or not guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, did you go over this waiver of trial by jury with your client and do you believe he understood it?
Yes, Your Honor. We reviewed it yesterday. He signed it yesterday, and it is his desire to enter into a bench trial.
Listen closely to the language of that charge. Intentionally flee. That single word carries the entire case. Because under Texas law, hesitation isn't illegal. Confusion isn't illegal. Even delay isn't illegal. The state has to prove intent beyond a reasonable doubt, and that's a high bar.
And state you signed the waiver of trial by jury as well?
Yes, sir.
All right, the court will find that the waiver of trial by jury has been voluntarily given and signed by the defendant and also signed by the state and the defense. State, you may proceed.
In the name and by authority of the state of Texas, the grand jury of Bexar County, state of Texas, duly organized and handled and sworn as such at the March term AE 2024 of the 187th Judicial District Court of said county, in said court, at said term, do present in and to said court that in the county and state were said and anterior to the presentment of this indictment on or about the 4th day of March 2024, Jordan Davis, hereinafter referred to as defendant, while using a vehicle, did intentionally flee from a person, namely as.
And here comes the star witness, the dash cam. In modern courtrooms, video doesn't just support testimony, it is the testimony. Every second, every turn signal, every pause is about to be replayed in slow legal motion. This case may be decided frame by frame.
Enriquez, a person the defendant knew was a peace officer who was attempting lawfully to arrest and detain the defendant against the peace and dignity of the state.
How do you plead to that?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
All right. Any opening statements?
Yes, Your Honor. Very briefly.
All right, you may proceed.
What the evidence will show is that this is not the most egregious evading in a vehicle case that this court will encounter. The evidence will show that Mr. Davis did not speed egregiously, did not weave in and out of traffic. It will only show that when Deputy Enriquez activated his patrol vehicle's emergency overhead lights to lawfully detain Mr. Davis, that Mr. Davis did not give prompt attention and stop when signaled. That is plain in a vehicle. It's not the worst, but it's still what he did. And after the court hears the evidence, The court should find him guilty of the offense.
Defense, any openings?
Yes, Your Honor. In the rush to judgment, Your Honor, the state gives themselves an added burden.
Yeah, boy.
Already high burden. For example, whereas the Texas Penal Code 3804, evading arrest or detention, states that
I'm sorry, just one moment. Excuse me, on the back row? You all are talking too loud and you need to just ask the deputy to move you all to the other end. All right, I'm sorry. Could you start with the code section you're citing, counsel?
yes, Your Honor, Texas Penal Code 3804 that talks about evading arrest or detention. The code states that a person commits an offense if he intentionally flees from a person he knows is a peace officer or federal.
This is where the defense starts gaining traction. Hazard lights on, speed at or below the limit, no swerving, no chase, no panic. They're framing this not as evasion, but as textbook defensive driving. The question now becomes, does patience look like guilt on dash cam?
Special investigator attempting lawfully to arrest or detain him. The added burden that the state has given themselves this morning is that the indictment says, and I'm paraphrasing, a person the defendant knew was a peace officer who was attempting lawfully to arrest and detain him. So the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this officer had to arrest and detain the defendant. Number one. Number two, Your Honor, you'll see from the video that at no point in time was Mr. Jordan Davis doing anything remotely coming close to evading arrest or detention. Not even fleeing. You'll see from the video that at all times, Mr. Davis was driving either at the speed limit or below. He wasn't weaving within traffic. He wasn't causing any accidents. He wasn't turning off his lights or causing a high speed chase. At one point during the follow, Your Honor, Mr. Jordan Davis goes so much as to turn on the hazard lights to let the officer know where he's at and that he's looking for a place to park. And this is important because you'll see in the video that during the 2 miles that the stop is Mr. Davis is trying to find for a safe place to stop, he's in a construction zone. He's not going, or he doesn't stop in an area that's safe to him. He eventually stops in an area that is safe, well lit, and away from traffic. It may not be to the officer's liking that it took him 2 miles to stop, but nonetheless, at no point in time was Mr. Davis doing anything remotely close to fleeing. He wasn't doing anything remotely close to evading arrest or detention. The evidence will show the court that, again, Mr. Davis wasn't speeding, wasn't weaving, he wasn't driving while intoxicated, he wasn't dashing into the traffic to avoid the officer. He was simply looking for a safe, well-lit place to stop, which he did.
All right, state, call your first witness.
Big calls, Deputy Enriquez.
All right, Deputy Enriquez.
Down in the hall.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. All right, and everyone, we'll bring you back at 1:30. Oh, if you all would like to, you can take a seat or either we can remain up here. My understanding it's one witness.
I'm fine up here, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. If you'll take a seat, please. Could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record, please.
Deputy Steven Enriquez.
All right, state.
Deputy Enriquez, where are you starting to employ?
With the Beard County Sheriff's Office.
Can I get you to take this? Evelyn. And Cindy, do you need a microphone for the? All right, thank you.
Judge, my client.
Oh, you talking to Chris? Stay. Okay.
All right. If you all want to sit, you can sit. If you want to stand up here, you can stand up here. All right, state, it's your witness.
Order, do you need me to repeat my last question?
I have how you employed.
All right, Deputy Enriquez, please answer the last question.
Yes, I'm employed with the Beard County Sheriff's Office
As well.
as a deputy sheriff on patrol.
How long have you been employed with Bear County Sheriff's Office?
Going on 7 years.
And on March 4th, 2024, how were you employed?
As a deputy sheriff on patrol.
And on March 4th, 2024, what were your patrol duties?
Just patrolling the district of Delta 30, which is commonly the Culebra area, searching for crime prevention and responding to calls for service.
The district of Delta 30, is that in Bear County?
Yes, sir.
And what was the time of your patrol?
From 11 p.m. until 7 a.m.
And at approximately 0:35 hours, 35 minutes after midnight, did you see a vehicle that caught your attention?
Yes, sir.
What vehicle was that? If you recall.
I don't recall right now, but I do have the report here. If I can revert back to that.
Please do.
Judge, I would ask the witness be instructed to refresh his memory from the report, not read verbatim.
All right, officer, you're allowed to refresh your memory from the report, but do not read directly from it.
It was a red four-door vehicle.
And what about that vehicle caught your attention?
As it was approaching me, it had its high beams on, and it had 3 lights on instead of all 4.
Which light was not on?
It was the passenger side and the outside.
And was that the headlight?
Yes, sir, correct.
So after perceiving the high beams on and the headlight out, how did you proceed?
I conducted a U-turn as the subject was going the opposite direction of myself, and I proceeded to catch up to that vehicle as it was ahead of another vehicle.
And did you activate your patrol vehicle's emergency overhead lights?
At that time, I did not because it was coming up to a red light, and I didn't want to conduct a traffic stop over with an active red light.
What happened next?
I pulled up next to the vehicle just to see if the vehicle had a seatbelt on or anything like that, and I did do a inquiry into the vehicle's license plate.
What did you learn?
Everything was up to date as far as the insurance and the registration. All I had was the defective equipment at that point in time, along with the transportation violation with driving with the high beams on.
Did the light eventually turn green?
Yes, sir, it did. At that point, I got behind the vehicle and activated my emergency lights, which activates my fleet camera.
Now, your fleet camera, does it begin recording when you turn on your emergency overhead lights?
It does, but it also records 30 seconds prior with no audio.
Understood. Permission to approach you on?
Granted.
Deputy. Showing you what is marked at state exhibit 1. Do you recognize this?
Yes, sir, I do.
Can you tell the court what it is?
It's the body-worn camera to my front dash.
And how do you know that it is?
It states it on there along with my signature.
Have you reviewed this? Have you reviewed the contents of this list?
Yes, sir, I have.
And to the best of your knowledge, have there been any alterations or edits to it?
No, sir.
And is it a true and accurate depiction of the events that were recorded by that device on that date?
Yes, sir.
Permission to tender to defense counsel for inspection.
There are no objections to states number 1.
All right, state's exhibit number 1 is admitted without objection.
Permission to publish, Your Honor.
Granted.
At this point in the recording, have you activated your emergency overhead lights?
Yes, sir, I have.
Did you at any point activate any other signals that indicate to this vehicle that you initiated a detention?
Yes, sir. As it passed multiple spots to pull over, that's when I activated my audible siren just to catch his attention.
Now, I'm stopping here. What to the left of this intersection did you see?
It was an empty road that he could have pulled over to the left or to the right.
Was it lit?
No, sir.
Now, Deputy, do you see these buildings
Yes.
in the recording? What are
Yes. It's a shopping center with a gas station and a McDonald's.
In your opinion, is it well lit?
Yes, sir.
From this intersection, are those buildings accessible to your view?
Yes, sir. There was also an accessible right there between the break and the barriers, so a dirt road to go into that section.
And do you see additional buildings here?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what those buildings were?
That's a car wash.
The vehicle that you're following turns. Could this vehicle have access these buildings?
I'm gonna object to
to the left or the right?
Object to speculation, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Would you have been able to access these buildings to either the left or your right?
Yes, sir.
Now, these buildings to the left, can you tell us what those are?
Those are apartment complexes.
And do you consider this to be a well-lit area based off of what you experienced?
Yes, sir.
Now, these lights here,
Yes, sir.
what is this area?
That's an elementary street.
Was it accessible to you at this intersection?
Yes, sir.
And based on what you can see, is this a well-lit area?
Yes.
Now, what lights do you see on this road?
No.
But at this point, have you passed the elementary school?
Yes.
Now, as you turn right at this intersection, what is that?
There's going to be a subdivision that's barely under construction and another school.
So the subdivision at this time was not yet occupied because its construction was not yet complete.
Correct.
Deputy, what lights do you see?
No.
Do you see lights here?
I see lights to the back. That's a part of another subdivision that's already in the process of being built, and then the school on the right.
But you don't see any street.
No, sir. Correct.
Now, Deputy, did the vehicle eventually come to a stop?
Yes, sir.
Did you contact the operator of that vehicle?
I did it from a distance. At the time, he did not.
Eventually, did he identify himself or did you identify him?
Yes, sir. I did.
Which one?
He identified himself. Okay, he found out he was under arrest. I did not put his name David.
And how did he identify himself?
Both.
What did you say his name was?
Jordan is.
And do you see the person that you arrested in the courtroom today?
Yes, sir, I do.
Would you please point that person out by their position in the courtroom and by a particular article of claim?
Sir, he's standing to the left of the judge in a black pant and white shirt.
Thank you. And just to reiterate, all of the events, did they occur in Bear County?
Yes, sir, he did.
Thank you. Pass the witness.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Judge. Officer Enriquez, good morning. Good morning. My name is Alfonso Cabañas. I'm going to be asking you some questions. I'm going to start off by asking you some questions that came about from the state's questions to you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, can I go watch a video?
Sure. And the mouse should still be there.
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, Alfonso, do you have on the microphone for the court reporter? Thank you. It's so she can hear it through her headphones.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? So starting in State Exhibit number 1, officer, at 2 seconds, just to make sure I have my notes correct. At this point in the video, this is the dash cam from your patrol car.
Correct.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And my client's car is to your immediate left.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You told the court that, and it's in your report, that the reason for the stop was that my client did not have the 4 headlamps. Is that correct?
Correct, yes, sir.
Now, which transportation code are you referring to when you're talking about the 4 headlamp
Would be
requirement?
transportation code 547, which would be the maintenance of the equipment. Specifically for the headlights would be 547.333, which is turning off your headlamps from the brightness 500 feet upon approaching another vehicle.
Wait, but let's go on a second because you're jumping the gun a little bit. Your reason for the stop, and according to your testimony, was that my client did not have the 4 headlamps, right? So, and we'll get into the brights in a little bit, but your testimony was that he had 3 functioning headlights, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, are you familiar with Transportation Code 547.321?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 547.321, correct me if I'm wrong, states that a motor vehicle shall be equipped with at least 2 headlamps. It doesn't talk about 4 or 3, just 2,
Sir.
right? And in Mr. Davis's case, he had not only 2, he had 3 functioning headlights.
Right.
Right? Hold on, we'll get there in a second.
Right.
Okay, so now that we know he has 3 functioning headlights, okay, your testimony is that you did a U-turn. So in other words, your dash cam recording of these 3 functioning headlamps is not on this dash cam,
Correct.
correct? Did you not record that?
From the way our dash cam is mounted, there's only 2 ways to activate it. That's by turning on our emergency lights or reaching over, which is across from my computer, and activating
No.
it manually.
I get it, but very simply, that wasn't recorded, right? Okay,
Correct.
all right. Now, if you look at this video, right here, Officer Enriquez, you told the court that as you drove parallel to my client's car, you were checking to make sure that my client had what he's supposed to when somebody is driving, right?
Yes.
So you correctly stated that my client had a seatbelt on, right? I think you told the court that you ran his license plates, correct?
Correct.
And there was no warrants coming out for him,
Correct.
right? The car rightfully belonged to Mr. Davis, right?
Correct. I believe it belonged to family members.
Family members. Okay, but it wasn't identified as a stolen